Okay, so it's been just over 3 years since my first hair transplant, um, and I've decided to get a second one, which is a big decision. And it was mainly because I was out in Tarifa jumping into some waterfalls and noticed that the back of my head was really starting to bald. I've checked loads of pictures, so I'm going to put them up now. Um, and you can see here that I'm really losing hair on the top of my head now. So I'm currently in Istanbul in Turkey, back in the same place, and I've decided to go Dr. Cinik again. Now, I noticed from a lot of my other videos, a few people had said, "Why are you so surprised? The hair looks really good." I don't think I ever said that my hair was really bad. I just said that people need to be aware and make the decisions properly before jumping straight into a hair transplant, which I still agree with my decision in saying that. Um, I decided to go back with Cynic. They have gave me what I thought was a good deal, so I'm now paying €1,750 for the FUE method again, but this time with sapphire needles. I think the difference is the smaller needles, so the healing time's a little bit faster. Don't know how fast the healing time is going to actually be, but we'll just have to see as I'm going to keep posting every month and give you a little bit of update of how the second hair transplant goes. So as you can see as well, that my hair is starting to really thin, but I'm not really a good candidate compared to a lot of other people. I've got very thin hair anyway, so they have to really work some magic to get some hair on my head. If you go back to my original videos, you'll see that I was literally um, like a Norwood 4, 5, no, even more, probably like a 6. So I've not been blessed with the greatest of hair. Um, so yeah, so now I'm coming back, and yeah, and a lot of people have kept on asking me how this new hair transplant's been going, and if it's still there, and it is. It's still there. This is good lighting right now, so I can't really show you. You can see that he has drawn the lines in tonight. We went to go and do the um, we went to go and do the consultation tonight and the payment and all that good stuff. I still haven't been given a time for the operation tomorrow. Don't know why, but I'm a little bit nervous this time. Last time I wasn't so nervous. I've gone for the painless anaesthetic. They give me that for free because last time was horrendous. But again, I've heard other people say it wasn't that bad, so maybe it's just my pain threshold in my head. Um, there is an interesting document that I signed, which I don't remember signing on the first time, but maybe I did. So I'd have to go back through my own videos. Um, but it's a document to show the complications that might happen, and so that you're made aware that this might happen and this might not. And I think in another video I might read that out just because I thought it was actually quite interesting to read, because you don't actually get to read all this information before booking for a hair transplant. So it's good to know this sort of information before making the decision. So when I got there, obviously I'd already paid the deposit, so I didn't want to just lose €400. I was just about to pay, and then they gave me this form that I had to sign to say like, yeah, it's okay. All this information, all these things can happen, but probably won't. So yeah, so I think it'd be interesting for me to read that out on another YouTube video, just so people can make that decision a lot earlier than I had to. I'm not gonna regret the decision. I know I'm not. He's decided to put 2,000 grafts on the balding part on the back of my head, so I'll just pop some pictures up anyway. It's probably easier. And then 1,000 grafts just to try and fill in the really light hair that I've got at the front. I did want him to lower the hairline. I think it's still quite high. And it's the only thing that ever really bothers me about my hairline. But then again, I've always had a higher hairline. I've never had a low one, even before I started balding at like the age of 23. Um, but yeah, I am sorry if I haven't replied to all your comments. To be honest, I've just been getting on with life and not even looking at my YouTube. I didn't really notice that I had over 30,000 views on that last video. I've not even looked at it over the past year, so if you have been asking questions, maybe start asking on this video, and maybe I'll have time to reply to the comments on this video. But I do apologize if I've seemed ignorant to other people's comments. 'Cause I haven't. I just haven't looked. I'm sorry. Um, I'll take some pictures daily. Maybe do a massive collage of pictures during the year point, maybe from having the hair transplant. Um, just so you're aware, I haven't drank since December 31st. I am on dry January. I Over the past year, I have been drinking a lot. I've been traveling around Holland and Spain, around Europe, camper vanning still, and having the time of my life, really. I did a ski season. So, yeah, so now I'm just off the alcohol. I haven't taken any drugs. I haven't taken any alcohol. I see people on hair transplant um, on the forums that I may have gone through in my older videos, asking whether they can take cocaine 2 weeks after. I don't understand why people are asking these type of questions. I don't understand why you'd go and spend over £2,500 on a hair transplant now, and then go and maybe risk it by having a bag of cocaine that's probably 90% flour or baking soda. Um, Personally, I wouldn't do it. I don't know why you're asking those questions. Don't do it. I would say just try your best to live a healthy lifestyle for the first maybe month or two of your hair transplant, or even before, and do your best to uh, regrow your hair as good as possible. Another thing that I've noticed on hair transplant, I haven't been looking at hair transplant forums, but recently I have, just to see the background of what people have been doing. A lot of people have been saying don't go back to Cinik. It's very pluggy and stuff. Like I don't find it very pluggy. Like if you've been a follower of mine and you've watched all of my videos, I wasn't too keen on the way that they implanted the hairs. But then I also went to the comment of it's a cheap hair transplant. It's not. It's not the £30,000 hair transplants that footballers can have. You know, this is for us, us poor people who can't afford this sort of stuff. So don't expect the best. Um, and it is kind of like a farm. You know, they are just feeding people through, but it's affordable for people who don't have much money. So it's a good way of doing it, I suppose. Um, there's a lot of new things in the clinic. There's a lot of new apparatus. One of the new things that I didn't notice is like a macro camera. So they really went in and took pictures of the follicles and really like a sort of like a microscopic view of each of the hairs. And I was very surprised for him to say that the side of my hair has got enough to pull out another 3,000 grafts or over 3,000 grafts, maybe more. He said if they can. Obviously, I don't want to see any over harvesting. I would rather just have little hair on top than having massive bald patches on the bottom. I do trust them. I do think that they won't do that again. That'll just have to be seen through the videos. I don't know if the clinic has ever seen my videos. When I search Dr. Cinik reviews on Google, I am the first video that pops up. So maybe he has watched them. I was a bit, is he gonna bring it up? But he didn't. Whether he's even seen it or not, he didn't mention anything about my videos, which is another interesting thing. I was like a bit worried, like, oh, is he going to be like, why did you slate my? But I don't think I did slate the clinic. I just tried to be as honest and open about everything that I could. I'm not being paid or I'm not making any money from these videos. It's all just to help people out with their decisions on which clinic to go to. Another thing from forums that I did notice is people complaining about their hair, but then again, do you know their full story? People saying, "Oh, there's a patch missing here," or did they bang the head on the taxi on the way out and like pull out half the follicles? Because I remember on my first one, a guy banging his head on the top of the taxi, And the taxi driver was like, "Please don't bang your head," and bump he did. I mean, does that ruin this part of his head, and then the follicles don't grow, and then later on in the time, like people will be like, "Oh, why is it so patchy?" And then suddenly everyone starts complaining, "Oh, which clinic did you go to? Oh, it must be the clinic." Like, no, you don't really know unless people are documenting every month of what happened and being honest. You don't know how well they've looked after their hair. Other people might have taken drugs, or they might have drank on the night before, or they might have drank heavily throughout the week before and then drank straight away. I know that I can't go to the gym for 4 weeks. It's going to kill me. I'm still going to not go to the gym for 4 weeks. I'm going to do my best to preserve the hairs that have been implanted in. So don't take everyone's word for what their reviews are. Just make your own decisions and think about the little things. Um, I'm gonna see if I can record a little bit tomorrow. I'm not gonna be too much in their faces because they are trying to do their job, and I don't want to be like, "Oh, look at this." Blah." I'm probably just gonna record after the aftermath. All this is getting shaved off. I did grow my hair out for this video because I knew I was gonna make it. I did try and grow it to see what it was like, and I think that growing the hair out makes it look a little bit thinner than it is. I think maybe a shorter haircut looks a lot better with thinner hair. But I wanted to grow it out, take some pictures, so then I can look back in a year, maybe grow it out again and see the difference and see what has happened. Other things I've looked at is I've never taken finasteride, I've never taken minoxidil, didn't really want to. I prefer having a good sex drive than taking a risk in losing that and becoming impotent, or I just didn't really want to mess around with my hormone levels. Um, so I did speak to Dr. Cinik about this, and then he referred me to um, a laser cap treatment, LLLT, I think it's called. I don't know if I'm going to go for that either. I haven't seen any reviews, so it'd actually be quite interesting to do it in a year's time, for a year, and seeing if it will regrow or retain the hair more than the hair retained itself over the past 3 years. They are expensive. They're over like $1,000, and that's something I don't really want to fork out on right now. I have the money to, but do I really want to on something that's not? I've not seen any good results yet, nor have I seen any bad results from the new caps. So I think it's just like a new process that we need to wait for, or someone who has money needs to test and try. If anyone's got a spare 2 grand, please lend me it, and then I'll try it, and then I'll report back. Yeah, so I'm now just in my hotel. Once again, the whole procedure's been really nice. Picked up from the taxi, went to a Airbnb, spent 2 days just roaming around Istanbul. I really like this place, so I just came back just for a mini holiday to myself before I was gonna not be able to do anything for a week. I'm now in a nice hotel room, double hotel suite. It's pretty cool. Um, yeah, and they've been picking me up and dropping me off, and I've had all my bloods taken, and yeah, I'm ready for tomorrow. So I still don't know the time. It's now 8:45. I'm gonna give them a message. I think after this video, I'm gonna ask them what time I'm gonna start tomorrow, and then yeah, we'll see how it goes. I will probably add the after operation to this new video as well, um, and then I there's no point in me going through the whole process again of like day 7, what I did, yada yada, what I've taken. I'm going to take the same things. I'm going to give the same links on Amazon for you to go and buy them if you want to. I've got a few pictures of the prices of Dr. Cinik's clinic. He has reduced them from what I remember last time. So maybe he did watch my videos. I don't know. Because I did say that they were quite expensive on the first video, and then I found them on Amazon for a lot cheaper. So I think he has reduced the prices of the actual products like biotin, the fish oils, the saw palmetto. Again, he did say take some saw palmetto. There is no proof that it works, but people have said it is. Um, So yeah, I'm going to go back on those meds again. I'll be taking them for at least a year and see how it goes. In a year's time, if it's looking good, I don't want to take finasteride and minoxidil right now because then I can't see the results of the transplant. I would prefer to take them in a year's time to see if it actually grows more hair after the full results of the transplant comes through. Um, yeah, can't think of anything else that I need to go through on the top of my head other than anything else I'll add tomorrow. So I'll see you in the morning. Okay, so I'm back from Dr. Cinik's clinic. It went so smoothly. It went really fast. I was a little bit worried about how fast it was actually going. Um, the I'm still a little bit high as well, off the drugs. Um, the operation I was told was 7 to 8 hours. It actually lasted under 6 hours. I was awake for most of it, but I think I was drifting in and out. And they were punching the holes in quite fast, like da, 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 da. So it definitely wasn't. They've definitely done it before, or they were rushing it. I don't know. Then I had the consultation afterwards. They were able to get 3,800 grafts. I was told that they were going to do 3,000, but they got more. I did ask, is that a risk of overharvesting? They said no, so we'll be interested to see that. Um, they did 2,000. They did 1,000 something on the front again to thicken up the front. They haven't moved the hairline down. I think I would have preferred them to move the headline down a little bit, but it's done now. Can't change it. The back, they did 2,000 in the back, so you can see it there. Maybe I put some pictures up just to get a better view of it. But yeah, Dr. Cinik came in again to ask me if I had breakfast and then left. There was a team of 5 people, so one was punching the holes, and then another 2 people were taking out the grafts, and then I seen 2 people next to me who were like sorting the grafts out into different piles. I only noticed one graft that I noticed on the dressing gown that must have been dropped, but that's pretty much it. I think something like that can always happen. Um, Nice to have no hair again. Really doesn't bother me. I don't even mind keeping it this short. I might even keep it this short through the summer. Um, and then yeah, afterwards they were just like go and sit up. So they've got a lot of different things to do since last time I was there. Now I've got to sit on this pillow and make sure I don't sleep on my sides for the next 10 days, which is so annoying because I never sleep on my back. Um, I always sleep on my side, so that's going to be interesting. I've been told to put 2 pillows next to me to make sure that I don't roll over. Tomorrow I'll go and get my first wash in the morning, and then I've got the flight home at 2 o'clock to Manchester. Uh, Other than that, it didn't. I've got some pictures here of them doing it. They wore masks this time. I mean, masks up to their nose. They didn't wear it fully. Last time they didn't wear a mask when they were doing it, so that was a bit different. They said that I was a good patient. I didn't move around. Everything went smoothly, and then when they ticked the box, there was thin, moderate, good, or very good, and I was ticked for moderate, and that was due to the grafts that they got out. Because of my first operation, they took all the best grafts out in the first operation. This operation, they couldn't take out any more than 2 or 1 head grafts, so they only took out twos and ones. They said they put the twos at the front, which is funny because I thought we were trying to thicken up the back. I thought they would have put all the twos in the back. Again, I'm not a professional. I don't know how to do this, so yeah. Um, there is a big pack that I got given, a little hat as usual that you got to wear. Can't wait till tomorrow. I can't go to work for 2 weeks. At the moment, I'm going to be chefing, so because of the heat and the sweat, you to avoid sweat really for 4 weeks. Hence why I can't go to the gym. Um, but yeah, I mean, I was pretty happy with the procedure. It took 6 hours, done. The painless anesthetic, I went through that this time. It was like little jabs that didn't hurt that much, but then the anesthetic going in, it was still very painful, but I think it was a lot less. So maybe it has been reduced, but not 70% reduction in pain. Maybe like 30% reduction in pain, maybe 20%, if that. So it was still quite painful to do the anaesthetic. But once that was in, that was it. I couldn't feel a single thing. It was all just, and then I was just pretty much high, which I pretty much am now as well. So the tablet they gave me was very strong. I think it's diazepam. I'm not sure. Sure, it's illegal in the UK. I did ask for more of it because I know I'm gonna have trouble sleeping tonight and for the next 10 nights. Um, yeah, but we'll see how it goes. I will keep you updated on the rest of the videos. I'll give an update once I've done the first 10-day hair wash, see where it's at, see what the scabs are like, and see how well I've done with it. Other than that, I'll then keep up to date every month, and I'll take pictures every day and just try and make a little collation just to show you how it's going. I'm looking forward to seeing if I've got hair at the back now. I'm looking forward to seeing if I've got thicker hair at the front. I don't know. It looks all right. Apparently, I didn't bleed much as well. Probably because I had no alcohol, no drugs, no nothing for the past 16 days. I'm trying to live a healthier lifestyle, so we'll see. But yeah. Okay, so I just wanted to add a little bit onto the first video because I was really surprised by the aftercare this time. It was a lot different. There was a lot more in depth about what you need to do. There was no process of trying to get reviews. There was no process into trying to sell you. Sorry, I'm moving all my stuff around. There's no process of trying to make you write reviews. There's no process in trying to sell you all the stuff. There was sort of signs saying how much the stuff was, so if you wanted to purchase it, I suppose you could have the option too. But nothing was forced this time, which was really nice. So I don't know if the reviews or even my review has gone through and they've seen it and maybe taken that into consideration. But it was a lot more smoother. I felt a lot more happier at the end of this session than the previous one. So if you go back to my old videos, you'll see the difference in what I was saying to now, I suppose. I had my checkup. I actually had Dr Cinik come in and check up. He actually gave me the full 6-month pack free of charge. So I'm not going to say no to a freebie. So I will be using his stuff, his products. But I guess it's just the same stuff as what I would normally get anyway. The biotin, the vitamin. This time there's an aloe vera pack to help reduce the redness from the back of the head. So that'll be interesting to see if that works or how fast it works. I'll have to go through the pack when I get home because it's in my big hold-all luggage, and I will add this to the rest of the video. And also he thinks that they've done a good job on the top of the head. He thinks that the crown should be full in a year's time. It's going to be a lot different for me this time because I'm now fully aware that my hair is thin and that I have a very poor donor area, so they do the best with what they've got with me. Whereas the last time I was very skeptical about when it was working. I was starting to worry at month 3 when my hair was falling out, and now that I've been through the whole process once, I sort of have that experience to be like, well, now I'm just going to make sure I go through all the steps that they've provided to make sure that the hair transplant works and I don't fuck anything up. But also, I'm not going to lose my shit, come down the line at 5 months when I've got no hair, because I know that it is a slow process and it will take a year to see the full results. Surprisingly, with the amount of grafts, they said I was going to get 3,000 grafts, and when they got 3,800, I was very surprised that Dr Cinik at the end was like, we can do a third transplant for you, taking out maybe 1,000 to 1,500 grafts and lowering your hairline should you want that to happen, but we can only offer you that in a year's time. So that's interesting. Maybe I go for that, I don't know. I'll see how this one goes and then I'll make the decision. But I'm going to be in Australia, so I'm not going to fly from Australia all the way to Turkey just to get a transplant. It'll probably be when I come home from Australia, which will be maybe 3 years. So yeah, but I will continue to do these reviews. I'll continue to give updates. It was nice speaking to a few of the guys who'd also just had the hair transplant.
and what they thought of the whole process. One of the persons who I was speaking to in the car on the way home, Mohammed, he was also there for his second transplant by Dr. Cinik, and he was really happy with his first one, and that's why he came back and had a second one. So there are always going to be bad reviews, and then there'll always be good reviews. I think it's just, don't always look at the bad reviews, because you don't know what the aftercare was like for the individual person who has had a bad hair transplant. But then also, it might have been the clinic's fault. I suppose this is the sort of risk that you have to take with a cheap hair transplant, or even with an expensive one as well. I've heard of expensive ones going completely wrong, but again, you don't know how it went. So hopefully there's more people doing these reviews online, and hopefully there's more people doing what I'm doing and sharing their experiences and what they've done to try and make their transplant work the best for them. Another guy who was there was a doctor, and this morning he was going through all the medications that they'd been given, and he brought up a very good point of, don't take them all at once. I mean, I don't think it'll be a problem if you do, but he said try and space them out as much as you can, which I think I'm now going to do, because I'm not a doctor. I'm far from it. So I'm going to take a doctor's advice, of course. But yeah, so really shocking and surprised, and the difference in level of the aftercare that I've seen so far, and hopefully that I'll see over the next year. I've been prescribed a doctor who is going to be my treatment doctor or aftercare doctor for a whole 12 months. And I even just got an email through, which is a new one as well, showing me step by step of how to make sure that your hair transplant comes out the best it can, which is again something that's new. So yeah, very different. So I'm very surprised and shocked, and also quite happy. So let's just hope for the best with my hair, and let's see how it comes out with. The only thing that I would say that I'm worried about at the present moment is the line that they've drawn on. I spoke to a guy yesterday, and he stated that he had a beard transplant, and he had a pen line in his beard, and when they said he said it was really thick, and when they put the what was it, not the extractor, the other one, when he put the sapphire blade in, it had like tattooed the line into his face, and he's now going through laser tattoo surgery to get it removed. And with this one on top of my head, I did ask Dr. Cinik. I was like, I'm a little bit worried because of this, and he was like, don't worry, in 7 days it'll be coming out of your hair. So I will report back in 7 days to see if I've got a tattooed head or not, I suppose. But yeah, again, just like, subscribe, show your friends who are thinking about getting a transplant, tell them to do their own research, and I hope this helps a few people.